Lights and whips can make any machine look freaking awesome. But if you're clueless as to where to start, this video is the one for you. I'm going to break it down and explain everything to help you out so you can make this happen on your machine. Hey guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with the Trailnex again today. I'm Josh, I'm the one that makes all the YouTube videos, puts them together here on the channel. And today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people do to their machines. We're talking light bars, whips, things like that. And we got a whole bunch of tools that we're going to explain to you guys and little pieces that you're going to need if you're going to do some of that type of work. So come on in here, let's take a couple looks at a few things. First and foremost, you're probably going to need zip ties. I mean, anything will do, but just your basic, you put something in there, put the zip tie on, and it's put together. Electrical tape is always handy. A set of wire strippers, and this one actually has crimpers in it too. And you'll need, if you just get wire strippers by themselves, you'll need a set of crimpers. But so it's ideal to get, something like this that does both. And up next, we're talking about a little heat shrink. Something like this, you can just slide up on your wire next to the connector, and then use a lighter and melt it down. You're not going to melt it, but you're just going to get it to where it's a little bit more rubbery, and it will shrink to the wires and give you a really good fit so that you don't have water getting in some of your electrical connections. Alright, and now another thing you're going to be looking at is wire. And a lot of people think, it's wire, whatever, I can go get whatever kind of wire that I want. But it's something you need to pay attention to. If you look at this, it says 18 gauge right here. And then if you look at this one, it says 14 gauge. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what's the big difference here? Well, when it comes to joining two pieces of wire together, if you look at this wire up here is the 14 gauge. It's bigger, it's thicker, bigger diameter than the 18 gauge. So when you go to join something like this together, your little electrical connectors, like what we have right over here, this one, for example, only does a 22 to 18 gauge wire. So it's important to have, similar size wire. So the 14 gauge, 18 gauge are hard to put together. Most of the time it would be like 14 and 16 are together, and like 18 to 22 are together. Now, you want to color coordinate to help you, at least this is the way I do it, making sure your black is always ground and making sure that your red is your power coming in, your positive off your battery, black being the negative off your battery. All right. And you also get these little wire connectors like this. So we're just going to step through, the next few minutes on how to use, something like this. All right. So you want to get your wire strippers, and we know that this is an 18 gauge wire, and you look and you see 18 gauge right there. So that's the one you're going to want to try to put it in, and then you're going to put it in, squeeze it together, and pull it out, and it's going to give you a nice clean fit like right there, where you have a set of wires. And then you can set and you twist your wires so you can get them into your connector. Bring your connector over, slide it in, and then this is where you're going to use the crimper portion. And again, the crimper is labeled 22 to 18, so you don't mess it up. Alright, you just put those together, you're going to squeeze them, and when you squeeze them together like that, it ought to give you a good fit. Like right now I'm putting a lot of pressure on that. I can't even pull it apart. That's how good that one crimped, because it was the right size, it was the right size wire, and it was the right size fitting for it. Now, another thing you can go look at, these were fully insulated, and sometimes when you have rocker switches, they're going to have little connections on the end of them. And if you look at the inside of this one, that will slide up on one of your rocker switch connections. Or if you wanted to join two pieces of wire together and you didn't want to use these, you could use two of these. Now if you look on the inside of them, these are actually made to button together like this. You squeeze them together and you have wires crimped in each side, and it'll make a really solid connection where I'm not going to say 100% waterproof, but water resistant. So that's going to help you out. And with these, they come in different sizes. We were talking about this a second ago. They come in depending on your wire size, and most of the time they're color coordinated. So like red is normally like a 22 to 18. If it was a blue color, like the plastic pieces, it would be more of a 16 to 14 gauge type ordeal. So after you get all your wire connections together, another thing you're going to want to use is the conduit. Now the conduit just splits the whole way, but you're going to want to take your wires once you get them all wired up and connected and everything, and you'll be able to take your wires and put in here, and it makes it a cleaner look, and it keeps your wires from going everywhere. Like you'll know exactly where they're going, and it gives it just a little bit of extra protection in case something were to reach in here and you grab one of these. If they're together in the conduit and your conduit's zip tied along your machine, it's going to be better to where you're not getting, you're getting, stronger connection there. All right. Another thing that people sometimes will do, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it. To use wire nuts, the way wire nuts work, after you would strip your two wires off, you would take and twist them together, and then you would twist your wire nut down on top of the two crimped wires like that, and give you a connection like that. But as you can see, you'd have a lot open, and you could tape over that, but it's not going to be as good as if you used the regular connectors like we were talking about earlier. All right, so it's a little dark in here. Apologize for that, but we're going to take a look at a few things. Now I have a Can-Am Maverick X3, really awesome machine, and some of the things for this machine that I had to do to gain access to my battery and everything. Go on here, we're going to take a look up close. So as you can see, I got the seat out because you need access to all these panels. This panel just pulls out, and then you'll have another panel up here. That panel also pulls out, and I put two rocker switches in up here, and they're wired. Nice little zombie light switch and a Sasquatch lights for the whip bar, or the lights and whip. All right, now come on over here. We're gonna look at some more stuff. On the Can-Am X3s, you see these little blue connectors here. It's called pigtail. The pigtail is actually a part that you can order online, and when you order online, this is basically tapping off your accessory power, so you don't have to worry about wiring in a fuse or anything like that, and you don't have to worry about it draining your battery, because this right here is already fused and the accessory power is only on when the machine's on. Now if you need your lights or your light bar, your whips to be on when your machine's off, you probably do not want to wire it into your accessory power, because it will not come on. You'll have to wire it directly to your battery. And this is what I was talking about. I have my conduit in red right here, but you can see there's also some black conduit and stuff, and there's wires that'll be inside of here. And whenever I go through and wire stuff in, you see it doesn't have any conduit on it right now, but once I get the conduit on it, I'll go in and zip tie everything to where I know it's going to be up off of anything that's hot, because like right here we have coolant lines that are running through the machine. Alright guys, another thing I forgot to cover while we were at the toolbox. So whenever you order a rocker switch, I ordered what they call a 5-pin rocker switch. Come on here and look closer. I'm going to show you this little drawing here. So one thing you really need to make sure is you're getting the right rocker switch for you. And one of the reasons I went with this one is because it already told me where all my connections need to go, and it came with these wires and stuff. Both of these rocker switches did. And you can start taking a look at this. So whenever I tapped off the accessory power, I had a black wire, so that was my ground wire, and I knew I could run it over to the wires that it came with and just do a quick connection there, and I connect the ground off my light bar and the ground off my whips, to their respective ones for the ground. Now the red power that came out of my accessory bar, the little pigtails, that was for the battery, and this is where that connection was going to, that pin right there. And it's really not hard to figure out, because you only got one in the middle. So my red power for my accessory power went straight here into this one. I connected the wire into that, and then my power for my actual my light bar and for my whips on their each of the rocker switches, that power came from these. Now when I did my whips, there was 3 red wires, all getting connected into this one in particular, because each whip has its own power and the controller has its own power. And that's what a lot of whips do. A lot of whips will have a controller with them that, let them light up all kinds of different colors or dance to the music. There's a lot of cool features with some of those, but the controller also has to be powered. So now, as far as all this stuff, if you guys have any questions, comment down below and I'll try to answer any questions you guys got. I'm not going to say I have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. But also, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow it and trying to get bigger. And it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. It might ask you to log into your Gmail account or something like that. But it'll help you, see future videos from us. And it'll help you keep up with our latest content and stuff like that. And if you guys want to see videos on anything in particular, just let me know and I'll see if I can make it happen. All right, till next time, guys. Thanks for hanging out.